before you stepped onto the pitch or anything?
He did. He actually was like, I'm going to throw you the keys to the car. And he's like, just don't wreck it. So I was like, okay. And I feel like that too gave me kind of like reassurance.
You missed this year's Life National Championship game for that match.
Yeah. My coach has always been like, if there's USA, like, you're doing that first. Like, there's no question. He was like, I would much rather lose this game than have you stay back. Because that's the end goal, I mean, to play for USA. But it was definitely a little tough. I didn't actually win a national championship. They all have. And I was like, dang. But they actually played before our New Zealand game. So they ended up all being there for the debut, which, like, was a dream. I mean, my family and my, like, team was there. Those are all, like, my best friends. So it was incredible to have them there.
Vogel. Welcome to US Rugby Happy Hour Live. Interviews with the biggest names in American rugby.
Consecutive NRLW Championship, and Team USA make history in Paris.
USA Rugby is heading to Australia.
Here are your hosts, Bill Baker and that other guy.
Hello and welcome to US Rugby Happy Hour Live. I'm Bill Baker. This is John Fitzpatrick. Fitzy, we've been off on our July 4th midsummer break. It's been 2 weeks, the semi-quincentennial break, as you'd like to call
Big
it.
word.
How are you, man? Good to see you.
Good. I'm still recovering from trying to drink 250 beers over that weekend.
How far did you get?
I got to about 7 and then I fell asleep.
7. And that's with the 4.5.
Triple IPAs, of course.
Maybe like Utah beers. Utah free something. I need about 112 of those to get me. I don't know what that says about me. Well, great break. Lots of stuff going on. USA men and women playing, and they're playing again this weekend. I'm excited about that. Some news here and there. I don't know if you caught this, Fitzy, but Flow Rugby showed an interview on their social media with David Anu.
Yeah.
And they let it off with former USA Eagle.
Mm.
Even though I see him in the pool listings. So
typo? Misprint?
I hope so.
So we can't let David Anu go. Are you crazy?
I know. All right, it's that time. Listeners, please like, follow, and subscribe to this podcast. Leave us comments on the YouTube channel, Facebook, etc., and share this with your friends and enemies alike. We like them all, as long as they listen and watch this show. And let's get into it. Let's do it.
Let's bind together, use it or lose it all. It's time for the National Maul with Martin Pengelly.
Martin Pengelly, how are you?
Good, thank you. Thank you for having me on, as always. Hope you're well.
As always, and thank you for joining us. Like we mentioned, the semi-quincentennial, we got a lot going on. The FIFA World Cup's down to 8 teams. No USA, despite the political help. Are you exhausted as we are? And are you cheering for Holland?
On the striker for Norway? Is that what you were saying?
Yeah, he's going to.
No, I am exhausted because politics won't stop. In all sorts of things, and Graham Plattner, Donald Trump, blah 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 blah. I will not be cheering for Mr. Haaland. I've come up with a way of telling myself to cheer for the English football team, which I sometimes have to do. There's various ways to do it. I'm quite impressed by various ones of them. I like Harry Kane, and as I've said before, I like the fact that this is a good team with a German coach.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking forward to the game.
Fair enough.
Should be a cracker. Martin, you like to mix it up a little bit here. Are you trying to start a fight? I believe you posted online soccer in a British word.
Is it British? Yeah.
It's a British word. Piers Morgan used it in a podcast. I would, for the first time in my entire life, recommend a podcast featuring Mr. Piers Morgan. He was on the Bulwark podcast with Tim Miller, and he had a very good argument about Trump. And I thought, but they talked about the World Cup, and he mentioned they had the usual tiresome thing where Miller called it soccer, and Piers Morgan was saying, "I'll have you know it's football." Short version, soccer is a British word. It's short for association football. So it's the same root as rugger. It is, you could object to it as a Brit as it being posh, because it is, but it is British. It's a British word.
Well, there is a word that no one argues about. That's the word rugby. I mean, although it's called footy in some places, it's rugby football, etc. But it is rugby. And since it's a July 4th time. We can still celebrate that. It could be patriotic as well for us. So I want to ask you something. You've interviewed Scott Lawrence just recently as well. He just bleeds America to me in patriotism. And, he often refers to some players like Caleb Geiger as American beef. His motto for growing the USA Eagles to the next level is Moonshot Rugby is one of them, and so many more. The American pride in the space race. And you did quote him recently as it was important for us to recognize the strength of the diversity of our country. Now, that's an interesting quote considering the political state of the country right now. So in your conversations with Scott, do you think he's really is a pure patriotic man? Or is it like he understands this could work? If we can get the guys behind this patriot message, we could grow this game.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's talking about the need for an American identity, an American feel, American culture to American rugby, because it's obviously always had a huge expat influence, says the man who sounds like I do, who's been writing about it for 10 years. But I think, and I was trying to be sort of careful-ish, I think Scott would be, I don't know, but I think Scott would be more politically conservative than me. And some of the tone of what he was saying fringed that way. He mentioned like Pikes Peak, he mentioned the armed forces, he mentioned our warfighters, that kind of thing, which I found interesting in the context of what he was saying. It was like unity. This is American rugby. It doesn't matter what you think about anything. As you said, the team room has people speaking French, it has people speaking Spanish, it has Islanders, it has at least one transplanted Scot. It has, he's injured at the moment, but Caleb Geiger, who is the All-American beef Colorado. I thought he made an absolutely valid point. This is the American team. This is what he's trying to get the identity. He's trying to get the whole country behind it. And it was, as a jobbing writer looking for his weekly subjects, I was like, well, July 4th, here we go. And it, I asked the same question of Hanratty and Paris Redding with the women, and they have different views of it. Hanratty's Irish, Paris Redding's English-born, but with a mother from Detroit. They came up with good questions, and I fed into thinking about my daughters playing and discovering it as a very American game. So I thought it was great. I loved listening to Scott talking about that. I could have asked more questions, but the problem with those press sessions is you have to share.
Yeah. I guess, Martin, let me ask you this. And this question isn't phrased around the results on the field, but do you think that history lesson, if you will, reconnecting with greats of the past and, how far the U.S. has come, the space program, military, all that stuff, with this younger playing crowd who seems to have, these things on their, in their face all the time, is that messaging, is it getting through, or are the players absorbing that message? Do you get a sense of that, or is it just coaches kind of talking over their head? I'm not necessarily saying that's happening here, but I'm just curious your take on that.
I don't know. I mean, I think it depends on each player. It depends on how you deliver it. I included in the National write-up last week a really great card I found, I think on Facebook, from Dallas Rugby. I don't know. Facebook algorithms evolve, and I get fed loads of rugby stuff when I don't know anybody there. So I have a look. And it was just, I put it in the piece. I copy and pasted it. It was the thing. It was a Dallas Rugby Club social media card saying, "We're rugby. Whatever you are, we accept you. You come play rugby for us." It was like, you could be gay, you could be straight, you could be a criminal or a cop, you could be brown, black, or white, you could be whatever. This is a rugby club. We're with you. Which I thought again was a fantastic message, and that was an explicitly social media message to get to people. I suppose. I keep thinking I should be looking at TikTok to find out if that kind of thing's resonating there, but which I don't understand. Like crypto, I don't understand that. I have to report it all the time. I think there are interesting social media accounts going. Like I've written about Culture RFC with Dylan Audsley. There's a bunch of other ones I'm sort of slowly discovering in my thermally dad-esque way, where I think they're feeding that kind of content. This is what rugby is. This is the culture. Scott Lawrence's theories about national spirit, I don't know if they've percolated down that way, but it's certainly worth doing it, because that's what international rugby is obviously about. It's about feeling identity.
in the interview too, I thought this was funny. I had to bring it up. I couldn't tell if Scott was getting back at you guys or not, but he also mentioned that, and I'm quoting him here, you guys came and burned the White House down. Obviously, that's in reference to the War of 1812. And you got into a little bit in the column, but what was your response into that?
Oh, no, it's fine. It's probably the privilege of being a Brit because, you know, we're the same root and stuff. And a history nut as well. Like I mentioned in the piece, because it's pure indulgence, I wanted to say, right, get your forward pack to sit down and discuss Alan Taylor's Civil War of 1812, which is a fantastic book by a UVA historian, Alan Taylor, who's written 4 or 5 brilliant histories. I don't mind that at all. It's just it's just a sort of friendly jab. As I said in the piece, when I visited the White House once, so long ago, Bill Clinton was still in it.
No,
and me and my brother, every time 1814 and the burning of the White House was mentioned, we just sniggered at the back of the group because you're able to do that. You know, you're able to laugh about it. It's a privilege of being a Brit, I suppose. But no offense taken, no offense meant. He was just having a little meal.
Yeah. And to get Scott to actually do that, I think it's pretty impressive. He relaxed around you, right?
Someone once told me, I won't say who, about Scott that he thought he'd had his sense of humor surgically removed. And you know, Scott has definitely got a sense of humor. You can tell that in the interview. But when you're interviewing him, sometimes he's very serious.
Yeah.
So I just loved that. It was great. It was like,
yeah.
Happy to take it.
So, Martin, looking forward to your next national mall. Anything? What's noodling around your brain?
I'm sticking with the international window because I don't think I've actually written this explicitly, which I should, but my massive skepticism about the Rugby Nations Championship and the Nations Cup in the first weekend was great, which made me sad because I don't like it. But I just, I'm worried about devaluing the World Cup, but as far as I could tell, I mean, you could have weekends of really good summer tests before, and there just wasn't some kind of point structure on it. So I don't know how different it is.
Yeah.
Because if the Springboks in England can't get worked up for a game at Ellis Park, then they never will. So whatever you're adding to that, I don't know. I'm glad England don't have to play them again in a second test this week because that was ugly. But sticking with the Eagles, I talked to Jack Henratty and Georgie Peris-Redding this week, thanks to Jenny Burke at USA Rugby, about the horrible experience they had in the first half, at least at Ellis Park, and what they've been trying to do about it. And in the way of the national mall, that led me on to some sort of musing about South Africa, going to South Africa to get hammered and what it does for teams. How character building it is to go and have a miserable time at the hands of a bunch of South Africans, which the women's Eagles certainly did in the first half. I would imagine they'll be better this week. In a way, you also fringing into thinking about the men's Eagles playing Southern African opposition. I'm always been interested in the Zimbabwe team because they played the first 2 World Cups and then disappeared.
Yeah.
And the 91 Zimbabwe team had Adrian Garvey playing prop, who ended up being a Springbok prop for years because that often happens to Zimbabweans. That's going to be an interesting game because watching the Zimbabwe, I watched the highlights of Zimbabwe Tonga. I didn't see the whole game, but it was really entertaining. And having seen fantastic Zimbabwean talent playing in the NCR All-Stars in Atlanta in January, one of whom, Musangweni's on the bench this weekend. I just think the Zimbabwe are a fascinating team. I'll be really interested to see how that goes. The Eagles had a great beat Portugal. That's great. It was a chaotic game. Mistake for the ages in the first half. The driving ball that went over the dead ball line. I thought,
KP.
It was magnificent. I've put in the piece. I thought it was great because it was awful. It was a horrible error, but it could happen to anybody, and that's point in the rugby. And then, as Alex Goff pointed out in his report, which I quoted, Piffletti came back and smashed through a man and gave the offload for a try and made up for it. So it was great sporting. I loved it, and I'm looking forward to this weekend as well.
I once tried to score at the 22-meter line.
Someone I know scored an own try once. Ran the wrong way. So, I can't remember. It might have been some concussed student or whatever. But someone I know or some situation I've seen, it was an own try scored.
Well, you should actually write about that one day. Let's go find all kinds of stories.
I remember who it was. I don't know. I might have read that somewhere, or I might have been on the field. I'm gonna have to think about that.
Well, listeners, please, you can find the National Maul newsletter at thenationalmaul.substack.com. That's MAUL Maul. And on social media, look up Martin Pengelly. Martin, great to talk to you again. Always looking forward to your next ride up.
Okay. Well, I look forward to be back. Thanks so very much.
Cheers.
This one.
Bye. All right, on to our guest for tonight, Fitzy. I'm really excited to talk to this player. She is a rising star in the women's game in the United States, and the future is bright for her. Looking forward to what she's going to do the rest of this tour this summer, and then future World Cups, hopefully, that kind of thing, you know?
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I think I said to Jack Henready earlier about the bell of the ball. I'm like, is that what you say? I don't know. You know, it matches the name.
You're right. You're the first person.
I know, like I'm the first one to ever said it.
Yeah.
I'm smart, man. I'm witty, and I come up with these things. They set you up. As usual, though, let's have the jingle department do the introduction.
With an amazing flow of lettuce. Lots of lettuce. She has grown from selling produce. Lots of veggies. At the Battle Pot Market to selling fakes in the Eagles jersey. Number 10. She dreamt about this for years. Let's welcome Life University National Champion. And USA Eagle number 332. Rising star of the game. Rising star. Bella Vogel. Bella Vogel.
Hi guys.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. I warned you about the introduction song. Did we do you proud?
Yes, that was so good.
Thank you. First of all, how are you, and how are you enjoying South Africa?
Oh, I'm doing well. Definitely warming up a little bit. It was a little cold last week, but this week is definitely warming up. Definitely a little frustrated about over the weekend, but I think the training week has been good so far, and I'm super excited, and I'm just enjoying South Africa a lot and enjoying the coffee. It's very good. So
Really?
yes.
Well, as the jingle said, it mentioned your flow of lettuce. Amazing flow of lettuce. Now, I don't know if you noticed, Fitzy and I are follically challenged.
I mean, that's
How
on the short hair.
do you even notice it when you're playing? Because it's a good hang there.
Yeah, usually not. I think sometimes if I like turn really fast and like one comes and hits me in the eye, I'll be like reminded a little bit. But for the most part, I feel like they've like slowly grown, so it's just not really a big notice for me.
Have you ever been tackled? Has someone ever tackled you by grabbing your hair?
Actually, yes.
Yeah.
In high school, one time I was like going to score a try, and someone like grabbed my hair, and I like had like shot back. I still ended up like scoring it, but it was like my like neck cracked. I was like, oh my goodness, never had this happen before. So
Well, hopefully a strength and conditioning coach never says, you know, you can gain 2 seconds in your 40 if you just cut a little.
Yeah.
I've actually been I've been told that many times.
No, my identity, do not touch it.
Yeah, exactly.
But I was like, this is my thing, so we're gonna keep it.
Well, speaking about your thing, let's talk about your past a bit before we jump into USA Rugby and life here. You know, as I understand it, you were playing soccer as a kid, a youth age, whatever, against boys. And I don't know, and thought they can't handle me, so I need to find a sport that can properly allow me to beat up on people. Do I have that right?
Yes, that's pretty accurate, actually. I played on like co-ed side, but we didn't really play co-ed teams. I think we were like the only co-ed team in our like bracket. And I used to always get penalties. I was like defense, and I would always get in trouble. And my mom like put me in this like little rookie summer camp and for rugby, and I like loved it. And so that kind of just went off from there. And I started playing with the local club, and yeah, that was really it. But my mom definitely noticed that I was rougher. So
How old were you when your mom put you into rugby?
I was 11.
11. Okay. And
Yeah.
what was the name of the program that you first started? What town?
It's called Nightmares Rugby Club. It's like out of Lancaster, Pennsylvania.
And Lancaster. Yeah. I wasn't sure where in Pennsylvania we're from. Gotcha.
Yes.
And right, you depending on where you're from, right? Because some people say Lancaster or Lancaster. You can tell if they're not from the area if they say it the wrong way. Yeah. Yes, that's funny.
I know everyone's always like, "Oh, you're from Lancaster." I'm like, "Oh, Lancaster."
Yep. When
So.
when I guess as you're starting to play, when did it start to dawn on you that you were pretty good at it?
I don't really actually know. I feel like I've always been like super big into sports, and I actually for soccer wanted to play professionally. Like I think my goal since I was little was to play professional in sports. So I think joining rugby, like I like kind of knew at the beginning, I guess, like I really, really wanted to be professional. And my soccer coaches were like, "Oh no, like do not go professional like in rugby, like you can do in soccer." And I was like, "No, I think I need to do rugby." And um my coaches kept telling me like just keep working. And so I feel like and then I just started getting picked for things and I was like, "Oh, okay, like maybe this has a route for something." So
Well, so some players we've talked to when they first started playing the game, they called out like one or two things. Like this thing is why I kept playing. It's like the first thing I hit somebody or I got hit. It's like, oh, I got to keep doing this. Do you know what that was for you?
um I love tackling. Like it is one of my favorite parts. I enjoy it so much. That was definitely a big thing. I also think since I was playing soccer, like being able to kick and also use your hands at the same time was definitely something that like sparked my interest because like you don't like you always can get better at something. So
When I was in high school, I played basketball, and our coach asked us to had us referee youth games in the summers. You refereed at a pretty young age. Do you think that made you a better rugby player?
I definitely think it did. I actually had gotten hurt. I broke my collarbone and I couldn't play, but I was able to like run around and we had a tournament and I was like, "Oh, I'm just going to take this little referee course right before it, just hopefully get some reffing in and learn the game." And I definitely think it's helped kind of like predict what might happen in the game because I see kind of what's like going on. And I'm like, "Oh, like this is probably going to be the next call. Like let's get back 10 or we need to be able to play this fast." And I definitely think that's helped improve my game a lot.
Yeah.
Did you ever make a call and some of the parents were like, I don't know about that call?
Oh yes, I've definitely gotten yelled at quite a few times while I was reffing. Yeah, definitely, probably more like high school, like boys or something. And I'm like, guys, no.
Don't make me tackle you.
Yeah, I was like, don't let me get mad at you. Also, all the refs are always like on my side, so
Yeah.
it's everyone's like, "Oh, do not talk to her."
Bella, let's move on. We're going to jump forward a little bit on your path to the route you're on right now. So let's talk junior national team, right? To us, it seems like a pretty dramatic rise, right? Like really quick to the top levels of the sport for you, right? From, started playing at 10 or 11 and high school on up. We'll talk life in USA senior level here in a second, but were there any bumps in the road that may have set you back a little bit or maybe even helped you grow, in your progression of becoming a rugby player?
Yeah, I've I've had like a couple injuries. I haven't had anything like overly major, but I remember there was one year where I broke my collarbone, my right collarbone, and then I came back for like a month or two, and then I broke it again in the same year, and that was definitely like really tough. And I was like, wow, like okay, I was out for a while then, and it was definitely hard, but I think it definitely made me like realize how bad I want it and like how I don't really want to be without rugby. So that was like one. And then what was this? 2024, I think, was like my freshman year at college. And I had gone to this sevens camp and I had been picked for Global U Sevens the year before. And then I went again this next year. And then I didn't get picked. And I was told that I like wasn't fast enough and all this. And I just remember it tore me apart. But after that, I like went into everything and just went 100% because I was like, you never know like if you're gonna get picked or not. So I like my family was just like, whenever you play, just play 100%. Someone's always watching. And then ended up playing sevens nationals, and then they called me back and they were like, "Hey, like we actually want you at this next camp." And so it was definitely a tough setback, but I don't think I would be who I am without that today. So
How old were you at that time?
I was 17.
17. Yeah. I bring that up because it's fascinating here. Bill and I, we've had a number of your teammates on 15s and 7s, and they all come from these really awesome sporting backgrounds like gymnasts, equestrian, hockey, you name it. Yeah, and the one that comes to mind particularly is the conversation we had with Alev Keltzer a few months ago, and she talked about kind of like her ego maybe getting in the way when she started playing hockey, right? Like she was either going to go hockey or rugby, or she probably could have played any sport for that matter. But at an age like that, like 17, 18, when you're getting recognized by national programs, and it's like, hey, like you're playing well, we want to select you. What's that mentally like saying, wow, like I've come this far, I'm playing really well. How do you stay like even keeled? Grounded, yeah.
I feel like for me, I feel like I've played a lot of like in other countries and definitely not winning all the time. And I feel like seeing these other countries play and how good they are has definitely like humbled me and been like this, we need to grow, like we need to get better. Like this country we have so much potential, but like we're not fully unpacking it yet, but these other countries are. And I remember playing New Zealand like U18s for the first time, and we got like blown out, and I was like, wow, like they are incredible. Like I need to work as hard as I possibly can because it's not good enough yet. So I think that was definitely one piece I'm always like, okay, I can always get better. I can always improve in anything. So
No, I don't know if you remember this because it was so long ago, but something happened back in April that you've been dreaming about probably since early, since one of the first times you grabbed that rugby ball. Before we talk about just that match alone against the Black Ferns and making your senior debut, when did like USA Rugby become a thought for you? I mean, obviously it wasn't that first time you grabbed the ball, but did maybe your mother, anyone tell you that the international, there is that chance out there? If you play hard enough, work hard enough, you could play at international level.
Yeah, I think I had gone to, this was 2021, I think. I had gone to this camp for ARPTC, and that's actually where I met Rich, my the collegiate coach that I play under at Life. And I went to this camp, and I don't know, he kind of like sparked something, like, and him and Jules were kind of like, okay, like, you've got potential, like you need to keep working. And I feel like going to that was definitely something like, okay, like I professionally is definitely somewhere I want to go, and I can like see a future in this. But my first like USA camp, that was probably the moment where I was like, this is doable. Like I'm here, like I can keep going. So
yeah. Oh, well, let's talk about that match, Black Ferns, your senior debut, your first cap. What was the moment like for you and your family, emotions, everything else, when you received that call that you're going to be on the Pacific 4 roster? Not even talking about starting a match or playing yet, getting that call.
Oh my goodness. It was insane. It was a Thursday, and I remember my coach was like, oh, I think Jack's trying to get a hold of you. And I was like, okay, yeah. Like sometimes my WhatsApp messages don't always go through. So I had checked in. He was like, oh, when are you available? And I was like, oh my goodness, I need to text him back. And I was like, whenever. I'm free whenever. Like, please call me. And he was like, okay, in a little bit. And then I remember picking up the phone, and I kind of like, I didn't really know what I was expecting. I definitely didn't expect like traveling squad. Like I was expecting, I was like hoping like, oh, maybe the camp, like, and then maybe get picked from there. And then he was like, you've been picked for Pac 4. And I was like, really? I was like trying to hold my emotions in, but I was kind of freaking out. And then I like asked towards the end of the call, I was like, so is this for the camp or for like everything? And he was like, for everything.
Wow.
And I was like holding it in. And then after we had like ended the call and kind of talked for a little bit, I called my parents, and they were like screaming, freaking out. I was freaking out. It was one of the best moments ever.
I'm getting chills right now hearing you talk about that. But here's your chance. You're taking the pitch. You pull on the USA jersey. You're not just taking the pitch for USA. You're playing the number 10 position, which is there's a few veterans that have been playing that position for USA for a bit, and here you are, the rookie coming in and taking that spot. Again, emotions. Talk about how big of a deal that is for you to run on the field, first 15, national anthem, about to take on the Blackburns.
I was definitely really nervous. I honestly I felt like I was gonna throw up because I was like, this is crazy. Like there's a lot of pressure definitely going into this, and I was kind of freaking out a little bit. But I remember my mom she was talking to me, and she knew I was really nervous, and she was like, Bella, like they're just girls. Like everyone out there is just girls. Like just be you, play you, and like you've been picked, and like just have confidence. And I feel like that kind of like let me rest a little bit. And I was still really nervous, but like I was like, okay, like my team is behind me, and they were all super supportive, and like we got you, like we got your back, like we trust what you say. And I think that definitely helped me. And then hearing the national anthem was one of the best moments, almost as amazing as the game. I mean, playing for your country is something that I've dreamed about since I was little. So hearing that national anthem and sitting next to the team was unbelievable.
Wow.
So, Mel, we've skipped over a little bit of Life University. We'll get to that in a second. But for this next question, right, like you've played high-level rugby before, right, being in camps, national camps, D1 collegiate rugby. But for you, what stood out for you as the difference, if there were differences, the biggest difference between, say, Division I collegiate rugby and then international rugby? Is it the speed, the physicality, something else?
I would say probably like I feel like everyone is super creative, and like they can do so many different things. Like I remember in like their very first try, I think it was their first try, like they had like a breakaway. New Zealand had a breakaway, and their winger kicked it over my head and scored. And I was so mad. But like you wouldn't have that a lot in collegiate. Like I feel like that's just not something that super happens all the time. So I think like the speed and the creativity, and people are just able to do like anything and like think so fast. Like they make decisions so fast at this level. So
Yeah.
When we spoke with your head coach, Jack Hanratty, he said not only did you show great poise in your debut there, but you were looking for action, right? So nearly leading in ruck arrivals, not usually a thing the fly halves typically do. Well, he's certainly excited about the future, but you spoke a little bit about your teammates backing you, which is really cool. But did Jack have like a special message for you before you stepped onto the pitch or anything?
he did. He actually was like, I'm gonna throw you the keys to the car, and he's like, just don't wreck it. So I was like, okay. So I grabbed him before the game, and that was really it. And I feel like that too gave me kind of like reassurance. So
Wow. That, and I guess an interesting story about that match, Bella, is, and for me, you missed this year's Life National Championship game for that match.
yeah.
How tough of a decision was that? Even a thought for you at that point, like, or was Life already in that match when you chosen for the team, or was that kind of like, what do I do? And also, I'm assuming your Life teammates were 100% behind your decision.
Yeah, it was. I feel like, I don't know. I think we kind of like hoped that we were gonna make it to the final, and my coach has always been like, if there's USA, like you're doing that first. Like there's no question. He was like, I would much rather lose this game than have you stay back or something like that. Like if our whole team got picked, he would push them all, and like he wouldn't really care, because that's the end goal. I mean, to play for USA. But it was definitely a little tough. I was like, oh, I kind of miss playing my team. I didn't actually win a national championship, and they all had. And I was like, dang,
Yeah.
But they actually played before our New Zealand game, so they ended up all being there for the debut, which like was a dream. I mean, my family and my like team was there. Those are all like my best friends, so it was incredible to have them there.
Well, let's touch on Life a little bit before we talk about South Africa matches that you're currently involved in. it's okay season, 30-2. Yeah, it's all right. A few wins over 100 points, quite the accomplishment. What is it about the Life program that I know the coaches you knew a little bit before you went to Life, but what is it about that program that produces such a great rugby program, both men and women?
I think like our standard, and I think it's like kind of like I think it's definitely coaches. I know the men's coach, he's really great, and I think pulling Rich in for Life has been like definitely a step forward. And his big thing is like we want to set the standard for the country because like we are leading players into USA pathways and the USA, and like we need to keep improving because these other countries are, and like if they're going to keep improving, we need to keep improving. And I think like the players are also setting standards. Like I remember my freshman year, like the older girls, like it was all like work hard, like no spot is given, which I really like. And I think that's something that a lot of teams should be doing. I think you have to work for your spot, like it's never given. So.
And you are an incoming junior. Are you set to return in the fall for your junior year? And you're obviously going to finish out your entire 4 years at Life.
Yeah, I will be there junior year and just see where everything goes. School's definitely not my favorite thing. But rugby's great.
Yeah.
I mean, Bill, what would you do, Bill? You're going into junior year. Your team won a national championship. You just got capped for USA Rugby, and then you got to prepare for like a Western Civ class.
Yeah.
Get out of here. Anyway, just saying. Anyway,
Yeah.
Moving on from that.
I actually for Pac 4, I remember I had like this in-person class, and I emailed them and I was like, guys, I actually cannot be there for like the whole month of April. I was like, can I please like get an online class? And they were like, oh yeah, of course. And they like put me in it, even though it was completely full. But
No.
I was like, oh, perks of this, I guess.
Exactly.
Well, let's move on to South Africa. Certainly last week, probably not the start you guys wanted. I mean, I think it was 21-0 at halftime, but certainly stormed back an improvement in the second half. Quick side note, no one in the U.S. was able to see it because it wasn't on Rugby TV like it was supposed to be. That's neither here nor there.
I know. Yeah, I remember after the game, my mom had like told me, she was like, oh yeah, we were not able to watch any of it. And I was like, ooh, maybe it's for the better. No, but
yeah, what was the message? What was the message after the match from Jack, and just kind of like what you have to prepare for this next one?
I think he was definitely like, don't be like upset, like keep your head high, but also don't be like celebrating because we didn't win. And that's like the goal, is to win. We were definitely all really disappointed, which I think is good, because now like this week we were hungry and we want it. Like we want to win now. Like I think we should have won it at the beginning, but definitely going into this next game, we are hungry for sure.
What, Bella, you're online. I think I've seen you listed at Life as a fullback, or do you play fly half for Life as well?
I actually, my freshman year, I was playing fullback, and which I think has definitely helped my game a lot, being able to like play behind and like kind of adapt. And then this year I've been playing a lot of 12 at Life, actually.
Oh,
so
center.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I think
I jumped.
Rich really wants you to be able to play wherever. So in any position. And I really like that. I think it's definitely grown my game a lot.
So I jumped ahead in my thought process there. Sorry, Fitzy. What your preparations for this weekend's match against South Africa again? Any major changes, or is Jack just concentrating on getting down what maybe didn't work last week to work this week?
Yeah, I think it's definitely what didn't work last week. We had like gone in very prepared the week before. I think it was just kind of more mentality, because everything that we had practiced the week before the game was what came into the game. So I think it was just our execution of things that went wrong. Like we prepared well, and I think practice last week, I think everyone was kind of like maybe a little like not half in it, but not full. And I think going into the game, it kind of showed a little bit in the first half.
Yeah.
So, Bill, you mentioned fullback, fly half, playing center. Do you have a preferred position you like to play?
I definitely love 10 for sure. I love being able to like control everything. I feel like I definitely have a control problem. Um, but I think at 12, like especially for life, like I'm able to control things there too. Like we're calling plays and all that. Uh, I definitely also love 12 because I feel like it's a little bit more freedom to do what I want and kind of have fun and, maybe take the gap or, do some offloads and stuff like that. Maybe take a risk. So I think they both have really great things. And fullback is good too, but I like being in the front line on defense.
Right. I got to make this tackle or not. Let me ask you. So, like, what are some of the areas of your game? And you talked about like improving, getting better each day. What are some of the areas that maybe the Life or the USA Rugby coaching staff has said, "Hey, Bella, here are some of the things we love your game, but here are some of the things we think you need to be working on a little bit more."
I definitely think like kicking and being more tactical about it has definitely been something I've been like trying to work on and watch. I've been trying to like watch other countries, especially like England. Their kickers are very good and they know what to kick and how to kick. And I think that's definitely something I really want to grow my game on because I can kick, but it's not always accurate, or maybe I don't pick the right time or, something like that. So definitely doing that. And I also think like attacking more. I sometimes just like to pivot. And so I definitely am working on like attacking the line and becoming a threat.
So obviously there's a number of athletes that go from the 7s to the 15s program. So just throwing this question out there, is the possibility of playing for the 7s and Coach Bidewell, they got the LA Olympics coming up here in a couple of years. Is that a path that you would love to explore? Keep open?
Oh, absolutely. I actually, when I first started playing, I wanted to play 7s. Like, I mean, I still do. I still love 7s. I think it's so fun and like it's a little bit more freeing. And there's more space, which is really nice. But I definitely would love to play 7s. If they would have me, that would be great.
Well, you're only I think 5.5 million followers behind Alona Mar. So on Instagram. not that we're comparing. So
I know I'm really trying to get up there a little bit.
Bella, we've been covering this year, obviously, in your past a bit too, and again, a whirlwind, quite a year. Again, captain of the Eagles, won a national championship with Life. Have you had a chance at all to reflect on what you've accomplished so far?
Yeah, actually a little bit. Right before I came here, I was actually home for like 2 weeks, and I don't know. I feel like my parents really are like we're really proud of you and like you're doing really well and we're so happy for you. And I feel like just them saying that is kind of like, wow, like, okay, like I've actually been capped, like I'm actually playing for USA, which is unreal. Like I feel like it went by so fast. Like I wish I could go back sometimes, but and I think too, like my team was like you're literally a USA player. Like that's crazy. And I'm kind of like, oh, like I forget. I feel like because I like come here and it's like I'm here for a little bit and then I go back and but I think I just try to stay like a little humble and like you're only as good as you are in that moment. So
well, assuming you stay in college for 2 more years, what are your goals after graduation? Are you thinking rugby goals? Let's say I know you're going to school to become a veterinarian, I believe. Do you have rugby goals? Are you looking, I don't know, overseas, PWR? Many of your teammates are being real successful in PWR.
Yeah, that's definitely something I've like talked to Jack about a bit. But I'm still young, so he's kind of like just stay and play college for now. But I would definitely love to go play in the PWR. I think that would be incredible. I've actually also had this dream to play in the NRLW in Australia. That's something I love watching it, and I think it's just like it just looks so fun. So I would definitely want to do that. Maybe like after the World Cup or something like that. So
Now, has Frida been hitting up on that? Because she talked about maybe going league.
oh yeah, actually I told her I wanted to, and she was like, "Oh my goodness, I want to too." So I don't really know if she's looking into it at all, but I know that she would like to as well.
Absolutely. Well, one more thing for you. Fitzy, I'll let you take this one away. Very important question.
So, Bella, Rugby World Cup 2033 going to be here in the U.S. You'll be in your prime. Is it hard not to look ahead and be excited where the sport will be here in the U.S. in 6 or 7 years?
Oh, it's definitely very exciting, and I try not to get ahead of myself, I guess. Each game at a time, each tour at a time, but it's definitely very exciting, and I'm hoping that rugby just keeps growing. And I remember afterwards we actually stayed for the South Africa men's game, and kind of just seeing the crowd and how big they were and how invested they were for that game. I was like, I really, really hope that the United States is like this for our World Cup, because it's such an incredible feeling, especially to have your home crowd like that. Like, I would so love to play in a stadium like that with my home country there.
Oh, yeah. I'll be proud of you guys. Bella, thank you so much for joining us. Good luck this weekend against South Africa, and good luck the rest of the year. We're really looking forward to seeing what you do out there.
Thank you so much. Thank you, guys.
All right. Well, enjoy your dinner tonight, and good luck again this weekend. Thanks again, Bella.
Thank you. Thank you. Have a good night.
You too. Wow. Yeah, I'm excited about her, Fitzy. She's the future of this team, right? To have a 19-year-old jump into the number 10 spot is daunting. It makes me nervous thinking about that.
I remember when I was 19 playing fly half, Bill. I was certainly not on the U.S. national team, that's for sure.
Were you on the A side?
I was, man. You know what? Hey, don't discredit American University Men's Rugby Club. We had a feisty little group there, okay?
Okay. All right. Well, that's good to know. I'm going to look it up and see if there's anything in the line. No, I'm excited about her. It's going to be fun. Listeners, please like, follow, and subscribe to this podcast, or leave comments on the YouTube video or Facebook. We love hearing from you. Give us some guest ideas, and we'll talk to you guys next time. Cheers.